Hi, I'm Sophie, and I haven't seen a lot of films.
Hi, I'm Paul, and I'm here to help with that. And we are
SP Film Viewers.
So it's that time again where we're here, and I think we're going to watch a movie. Is that what we do? Do we watch movies?
we do, and we try and talk about them in a critical way.
Or objective, more, I would say, for me.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it's not critical, it's more my preference.
And then we go on a wrong ramble about something completely different.
That is just me, literally. Like what we're doing now, since you started that.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've got a film that you have seen.
Yep, this time around.
I haven't seen.
Yep.
And all I know is when you bought it, the lady went, "Oh, I like this because of the dog." So already I'm like, okay, There's a dog in it. Clearly, that's a good sign. Okay. I love animals. Unless it gets hurt, then that's a different matter.
So, for this, picking what I wanted to watch, we're watching this one. It's the birthday weekend of mine. I had some ideas in my head of like, okay, what do I really want to watch this week? Or what did I want to make Sophie maybe suffer through or enjoy?
Paul! After all I've done for your birthday!
But this is one of the picks from when we were out, we were like Blu-ray hunting the other day. So like, yeah, okay, that's what we're going with. That's just how it's fallen. And we're going to be watching and talking about Snatch.
You've concerned me now because with you saying "put me through," am I not going to like it?
It's like a British gangster film.
Oh.
So,
but Brad Pitt's in it.
Yeah.
Has he got an English accent?
No, he's got an Irish accent.
Is he Irish?
I don't
know.
He
was American.
Heritage. He is, yes, but it doesn't mean you can't put on an accent.
Oh no! It's going to be weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's strange when a well-known actor has to change his voice.
I guess so, but he's also a gypsy as well.
Can't imagine Brad Pitt being a gypsy. Is that the right word? Should we be calling them gypsies or should it be travellers?
Well, in this, I think it's a lot worse, or a slang term for that than gypsy. So, But you can call them travellers if you want to. But it's just gypsy is fine.
I feel like that's more correct.
Yeah. Anyway, so the film Snatch is an edgy and hilarious film about a diamond heist gone wrong, a colourful Irish gypsy turned prize fighter, and a very temperamental dog. In the heart of gangland, two novice unlicensed boxing promoters, Jason Statham, who plays a character called Turkish, and Tommy, Stephen Graham, get roped into organising a rigged bare-knuckle fight with local kingpin/villain and fellow boxing promoter, Bricktop. But all goes wrong when wildcard Irish gypsy boxer, One Punch Mickey O'Neill, that's Brad Pitt, starts playing by his own rules, and the duo find themselves heading for a whole lot of trouble. So, kind of another boxing...
Yeah, straight away Rocky came into my head.
But you'll have, I think, more of an interesting connection because there's actually there's a clear winner and stuff, and it's a bit more like in a sense, even if it's a bit more rough and rugged and like.
We're also initially when you were saying a heist and such, Sexy Beasts came into my head, and I was like. Two films I didn't really like. Sexy Beast was better than Rocky, like no brainer. But I'm just a bit like, okay, that's the two that have come into my head. So we'll have to see.
But there is some humour to this anyway. So
yeah, but humour, it's British humour. I'm a bit better with,
like
I think.
Silly,
like Love Actually, kind of sarcasm.
Yes, sarcasm, but in like you effing,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's fine.
That kind of,
I like sarcasm.
Yeah.
I'm British.
that's kind of, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have to
Yeah.
see.
I hope you somewhat enjoy this.
I hope so,
Yeah.
since I deserve to.
Right, well, we'll be back shortly with Sophie's thoughts.
Save your breath for could your parts. Hey, look, she wants a heck of 2 roof lights. The stylish house frame furniture, and the Scotter cushions with the matching shag cover. Yeah. Right. It's just terrible partial to the party with the blue bags. Have I made myself clear, bags?
Yeah, that's perfectly clear, Mickey, yeah. Just give me 1 minute to confer with my colleague. Did you understand a single word of what he just said?
And we are back, having seen Snatch. How did it meet up to your expectations, Soph?
Don't really know what my expectations were. I was...
Well, you said you were a bit dubious because it was like going to be sort of a mix between Sexy Beast and Rocky.
Well, yeah, they are, and I don't really know if I really liked the film. I was a bit lost. I know it sounds daft. It felt a bit like Love Actually with so many different characters. You know, like that kind of...
A big ensemble.
Yeah,
kind of cast
and
in
they're
a
all
way.
interlinked with one another somehow.
Yes,
But
I get that, yeah.
it's... Yeah, so I think it was a little bit like side stories were kind of confusing to some degree. Some of the comedy was really good. I really enjoyed it when we had the 3... Would you call them gangsters? I don't know. You had Soul, Vinny.
Sol, Vincent and Tyrone, the getaway driver.
So the comedian side with those, I did generally actually laugh. I think they were quite the most comical element of the film.
Yeah.
The other side of it got a bit dark quite quickly. So you've got Mickey. I do think Brad Pitt did.
Oh, this is one of his best performances, I
I
think.
can't understand the word he's saying, like. But we did have a conversation with my mum, and she mentioned that travellers, or however you want to word it, they do sound like they've got their own language. I think they do have this kind of lingo where it's very fast spoken. Sounds a bit Irish. But
I think they were genuinely Irish, though, of heritage. But, yeah.
But, you know, I did really like Mickey as a character, which he was kind of the underdog, and you rooted for him.
That's what I was saying. You know, we said about the boxing thing. It's like that's the one you want to be up and coming and winning, as opposed to you a character to root for.
Yeah,
really. And like I say, this is probably his best performance, aside from one in a film we haven't covered, which is a Tarantino film. But
what is that?
It's Inglourious Bastards.
I always get. I know everyone's gonna be like, "What, Sophie? What you on about?" Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio are confused, and I know that sounds stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
So,
I can't see him in Titanic, to be honest.
No, I'm not even going to ask this question. I think it's Leo that's in Titanic. I hope
it definitely is.
Is it? Okay.
I can definitely tell you. That's why I made the joke just now.
Oh, God, it's been a long day for me at work, so please be kind to me and bear with me on this one. But no, normally I do generally get them mixed up.
Okay.
Don't know what it is. I think it's the hair and the suaveness.
I can't see it myself, but there we are. I don't, when they use obviously, I don't really want to say the word, but to me, it doesn't seem like it's such an offensive word, but they
Pikeys.
Yeah.
I don't think it's nice. I don't actually understand. I know this sounds, and I think this could get me into trouble. Probably my ignorance is bliss. How it refers to a traveller or a gypsy. And I think that's the same with the N word for black people.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, where has this word even come from? Like, to be
used in such a derogatory way,
yeah, and B, how do people know it relates to that? If that makes sense.
It does get used quite a lot. A lot of people apparently fucking hate them.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything wrong with the Traveller. I really don't. Like, obviously, don't get on the wrong side of them, because literally the whole kind of caravan site will be after you.
Yeah.
Like, so first of all,
They're
that's
quite loyal in that sense, aren't they?
But
They're
what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you're loyal to your family to that degree, I think good on you.
Yeah.
Like, you probably, like, I feel like sometimes the British people or any other kind of form wouldn't be like that defensive.
That's true. It's like, obviously, in the fact that they kind of swindle a couple of the characters out of a caravan, but in most other aspects, they're quite loyal to one another, really, as opposed to, I'd say, a lot of these. Sorry,
they take all your rubbish for you. Like,
yeah,
who wouldn't love it? Like, fair enough, if you don't want it to be taken, then that's an issue.
Yeah.
But if you put it out in your garden and you can't be asked going to the tip, I mean,
yeah, we've done that a number of times. You leave a washing machine or something outside on the street, and then 5 minutes later, it's been
sometimes even knock on your door and say, "Is it all right to be taken?"
Yeah.
They're not charging you, and it's like, well, I can't be bothered getting rid of it.
Yeah,
I know we once had a washing machine and no one came for it, and we were absolutely devastated. We're like,
yeah, one time that was when we were moving house.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like, oh, I've got to put this in this car now and actually get rid of it because nobody has come for this.
Even they don't want it.
Yeah,
but
I do think they're portrayed in a bad way, but I don't think actually that bad in this film.
No, whereas a lot of the characters are all like trying to do each other over, really, aren't they? In a way, obviously, that's I'm top dog and want to be looking out for myself, and
they're all more well-to-do. About themselves. They had more kind of wealth, class.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah, that, isn't it? The more you have monetary wise, the more bitter and twisted
you get.
It seems. And
and it's 100% true. I've actually seen it in myself. To be fair, like, the more money you have, the more you scrutinise it, and it's like, if you don't have anything, you don't have anything. You can't really do what about it. And I think it shows, actually, to be fair, I think I would want to be Mikey's character. Like, out of all of them, he has the best growth. He gets the best revenge.
Yeah, he has a real motive to continue the fighting stuff in the end, because he's supposed to do this fight to be like go down in the 4th round or whatever. This character Brick Top, who's like the head honcho of this organised boxing ring. And then
I don't get why he's rigging it though. Like, why rig it?
It's just an easy bet to think, right, or if you fall down, you knock yourself, or get knocked out rather. In at this point, obviously a bigger bet for him, and he gets more money back from the people who have a loss. So,
but then he's telling everyone what's going to happen, so he's just giving them all the money.
He's telling some people who, like, oh, here's a hint, here's a tip for that, to put your money down if you want to win big. Yeah, sure, but obviously that doesn't really work out for them. So a lot of people get angry. With him.
But if it had
and then
happened,
he gets angry with it. Yeah.
I'd have been like, well, aren't you doing yourself out of money? Because you're going to have to pay these people who have bet what you've told them is going to happen. And then he's going to pay them because of the one.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't...
I'm not a big betting person, but I think that's the logic behind it.
I think you got me there, yeah, I don't know.
It just sounds stupid, because it's like, well, why are we betting? Well, if I was a bookie, I wouldn't be going around telling everybody that I've rigged it. Unless it's these people he wants to on his good side or something.
I'm laundering it out some other way, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't really like that character. I think he's a bit of an arsewipe. What he does to Mickey's mum.
Yeah, it's horrible, yeah. Burns her alive in a caravan while she's sleeping, yeah.
It's just awful, just because he didn't do as he was told, and he wouldn't go fight then next time.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, well, I'm going to kill your mum. Like, what kind of person, like, I don't care if you've got problems or whatever, would think that that's acceptable. Like, oh, okay, that's my revenge for you not doing as I say.
No.
He sounds like a right twat.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got this mentality as well, which is kind of what I learned. Well, I guess it's probably true. I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest, as being fact. About the fact that, with where he explains the term greedy as a pig, mean that if you starve a pig, they will, after so many days, they will literally eat anything you put in front of them. Practically, strip a person down to the bone and eat them.
That's scary, though. And then that part of me thinks, well, if that is actually true, you've just told loads of murderers how to kill people.
I suppose so, yeah. But there's obviously other shows that do that as well, like, dip people in acid in their bathtub or whatever, so therefore it's easier to break the bone down and there's all these wild, crazy stories that you can find from films and TV if you wanted to know how to do that. Potentially, it doesn't mean you're going to get away with it, but
I'm looking at you really concerned now because, like, are you wanting to kill me in my sleep? And I just
no,
don't
I'm
know
just saying the fact of not so much
it.
fact, but there's some sound science to how it might occur. But not saying I'm going to do it, but
I'm glad you ended it that way. I'm going to say, I'm not going to lie. So moving on swiftly because I am shocked for words, and I'll bring it to a lighter note.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The dog.
The dog.
Do I actually know what the dog's called?
I don't think he's got a name actually.
Squeak.
Let's call him Squeak because he swallows a squeaky toy.
I think it's just he or like a what's it, a beacon where he goes back home or whatever, because he always keeps going back to the caravan site, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But Squeaky, I think, is cuter.
Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't. He, as much as the poster kind of advertise it and stuff, he doesn't actually get a great deal of screen time. He has these moments here and there, but it's kind of things like, oh, he like eats the diamond and you know, he's just kind of there in between bunch of characters and stuff, like back and two, like you say, like.
But he always seems to be at like a critical point.
Yeah.
So, for example, at coming towards the end, he saves Jason Statham's character.
Turkish, yeah.
And also when they're trying to rob the bookies, which I do think that is a comical scene.
Yeah.
Like, that one does make me laugh quite a bit, actually.
Like when he gets stuck in the gap when she closes up the shutters or whatever.
And she's not even phased as the lady, like, on the till. Like, he's pointing a big, massive gun at her, and she's not even flinching. Yeah. She's just like, do you actually know whose bookie this is? Mm-hmm. Like, are you actually out of your mind? But the way the dog actually swallows the whole ball, the ball whole, I was like, I think he's going to choke on it. And then he does, and it's like, every time he barks now, it's like this cute little squeak. I've
got a feeling that, well, the camera might have shot it the way that it looked like he did, but then they obviously spat out and then made it just do a sound effect after the fact, because I think that'd be pretty cool.
I'm not that daft. Yeah. Would you take me for Paul?
But some of the other, well, one of the characters, like at the beginning with, was it Frankie Four Fingers, who's disguising himself as like a Jewish rabbi. He's gone to collect the diamond in the first place. And there's a couple of bits where it's obviously that very early 2000s editing style, like that zoom in effect thing, and it's kind of trying to be stylized, but I guess this whole film is kind of like, it feels like a product of its time, like the early days of the 2000s, especially with the soundtrack as well, and just how everybody sort of acts and behaves, and just overall is everything, how it all comes together.
Do you think the soundtrack is quite good? It does have like literally every other minute, it's like a good song is coming on, and it does kind of
it's like
help.
Like I would say drum and bass ravey type tracks. You get like that soul funky beat again to match certain scenarios where that kind of fits in well. So there's good choices there, and there's like
it works with the characters, doesn't it? That are on the set at the time.
And I want to say like ska music. Well, Ghost Town is this town coming like a ghost town. Yeah, the ska beat again. That's again like the sort of that period as well was quite popular. So
you knowing everything.
So I appreciate the film for that as well. Like it's these little time capsule of that kind of era suits it well. The most of the comedy elements comes from obviously like the sarcasm that the characters all like have, that little banter with each other. Kind of really works well. And
to be fair, like the diamond, I don't actually remember where this ends up now. I don't know who gets it back. One of the villains that keeps coming back and forth off that plane.
Yeah, he's was he Avi, cousin Avi? What's Avi the American? Basically, yeah, he's got an interest in it. I think it's Doug the head, who's like the fake Jewish man. He's running this jewelry business and everything, and he's gonna get this guy he knows to to come in and oversee it and everything. But
just like one of those things where it's like you just don't know who's going to end up with it. Really, Mickey should have the diamond after all. Don't you think? Don't even get his caravan, bless him. He does all the hard work.
He does, but it could have been a lot worse
What,
for him. Because...
than his mum dying?
No, I know, but obviously at the end of the fight, it was because of all that. It's like he still ends up going against the grain, and it's like, let's get out of here. But then he's already got it planned out that his friends at the caravan site are over there to kind of take out the rest of the people, so it's not so much of a big deal at the end of it. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, he's lost a lot, but doesn't really gain much. But they just move on to the.
But
next.
he's the one who's doing the physical. He killed the main crook, planned all of it with his people from the site and everything, and gets naff all from it apart from having to move campsites. It's a bit shit, really.
Well, I mean, he does have that good. Well, he's got one punch.
Yeah, he's got that going for him, and he does well. But it's annoying when somebody doesn't want you to do well, even though you can do
it must
well.
Be tough, in that, to not
be able to do that,
to your full potential. And stuff.
Yeah,
makes the whole situation tricky to him to fall in the 4th round. Yeah.
Also, I think that's a bit of a issue with him as well. Maybe like a mental block that he can't not get back up. Like that's been instilled in him.
Yeah.
Like you fall down, you get back up. Also, I didn't know pull your socks up was a saying that meant you have to get down.
Oh yeah. It kind of makes sense because it's like a code word to duck, basically. Because obviously, pulling your socks up, you have to lean down. I
would have been the big black man. I'd have been shot because I didn't know that was a saying.
Again, to the detriment of what is it Avi says about like what does blagged mean? That's another saying that it's like, well, I thought this country invented English language and meaning just robbed.
I know what blagged means. Well, it doesn't mean robbed. It means like you've blagged my head. That's what I'd say, and that means like your head's like scattered.
So is it in a different context?
Yeah.
Blagged and blagged.
Blagged to me would mean you've gone over my head. I don't know what you're saying to me.
All right, okay. It's like there's other things that you've come out with and you've been like, what are you talking about?
They are words.
Like what you're lurking at.
What you're laking at.
Laking.
Laking at.
What you just say what you're playing at. That's so much simpler.
No, but it's I don't know, I've grown up with it. It's a saying. It is there.
Yeah.
What other sayings do I say? No. But
that's just a Yorkshire thing. I know that one. I'm sure there's other ones, but I think like when you start using the word zhuzh, and it's like, how do you even spell that?
I don't even know how to spell that.
So it's a word.
It is a word.
But I've heard it more and more recently now, which is kind of odd.
Not from me?
Yeah, from other people saying it's like...
As in zhuzh it up, or as in zhuzh something?
Yeah, zhuzh it up, not
zhuzh
things around in the oven. Yeah.
You're just a bit sheltered because you came from Birmingham and then you pretend to be Yorkshire and you're just neither there or there, either there or there.
You're not there.
Yeah.
It's true. Don't really have an accent, so.
Well, I don't know if I have a Bradford accent or if I have
you really
Yorkshire.
Don't.
Maybe it's a Yorkshire accent.
Yeah. Not like the typical.
Hey up, love.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah. What you saying?
Probably say that, to be fair. So, going back to the film.
And we said it before about how everything's got these interlinked incidents, really. That's kind of a good way into the film where it's kind of like Vinnie Jones's character gets on his milk thrown on his car windshield by Tommy, who's with Turkish. The guy's like, oh, get rid of this milk. It's, not good for you, whatever. And obviously there's collateral damage there. But at the same time, they were on the way to was it Boris Blade's house, who's this other, like, Russian guy. He's a bit cuckoo crazy and everything. And, it's good when stuff like that all works together. It's like, oh, that's what happened there with that bit. What was that car crash? And you find out, oh, it's a character that you've been partway through the story, been involved with, and it's like, oh, that's going to have a knock-on effect for this and all that kind of stuff. So it shows that, like, those incidents in life where you think, oh, that might, like, you might shout at somebody or whatever in the
like me this morning, when somebody was nearly going to splash me with a puddle, and I swear to God, if it would have hit me, he would have had the wrath of me. Yep.
Yeah, things like that. Oh, yeah. There's incidental things you don't think anything of, but they might have actually
impact
effect on someone else. Yeah.
So I could have sworn at him and cursed him, and then he could have crashed. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'd have been pissed wet through. To be fair, though, I know I shouldn't say this. I didn't actually see those points, but you're right. They do interlink together, but I didn't realise that it was that impactful. So sometimes I think stuff like this is wasted on me and I need a second watch.
I know there's probably maybe a fair few stories going on, like you say, but I think it's for the most part, it's kind of structurally sound, really.
I just don't really know what Turkish his character really brings. Like,
he's more or less the narrator, to be fair.
Yeah.
If anything.
It just seems a bit... I don't know why he's in the position he's in. Like, he seems quite well off and well-to-do, but yet he seems to be in this crux.
Well, he's just essentially a henchman, isn't he, really?
It's just like... He doesn't look like he should be. He's like this suave-ish, poshy...
Yeah, upper class.
Yeah, and so is the other guy that's with him, like...
Tommy, yeah.
Yeah.
You look at, I can't believe how young he looks here, really. He's the same guy we've seen in that film, Boiling Point, where he's the chef. He's running that big fancy kitchen in London.
I enjoyed that.
That was a really good film.
It's better than this one. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Why aren't we reviewing that one?
Well, that's because, obviously, that's something we both have seen. But maybe we'll come back to it at some point, maybe.
Oh, yeah, because, we've had Paul's birthday now. It's long in the past. Oh, I know, it's been nice. It's been good. So, you never know. I now need to think of what... Am I having a birthday special?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I need to look at what mine looks like as well.
Yeah.
So, apart from the dog saving Turkish, which I don't get why, when he's been quite loyal to Saul and all the rest of the gang, and they have a body in the trunk, so the police kind of get them and collar them, which is kind of not meaning this in the right way, but it does depict the white person getting off lightly in there, doesn't it, really?
That's true.
Obviously, they are stupid enough to leave a body in the boot of the car.
They've got a lot of stupid incidents where
they were funny.
Threaten Bullet Tooth Tony, who's Vinnie Jones's character, and they're trying to get his attention, and with the coming to the room, he's like, "Oh, a pint of Guinness or something," and they're trying to like, "Hello, I'm here," trying to point a gun at you. That'd be something that would happen to me. I swear. If I was trying to threaten someone with a gun, it's like, "Hello, am I invisible?"
I don't think you'd be very threatening, to be fair.
No.
I'd like to think I'd be more threatening than you with a gun.
You probably would be.
I'd have more sass about me.
You can be more threatening best of times, so... when you get riled up.
Yeah. I'm not that horrible, I promise. I'm just passionate.
About?
Morals. Right and wrong. Or what I think is right and wrong, should I say.
That's fair enough. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing this one again, honestly.
I think I'd value a rewatch.
Yeah, but it's not something you just go like, nah.
No, I think there's a lot of things I'll probably missed. I really enjoyed Mickey as a character. Other bits like you've mentioned that I haven't even clocked, just like the same thing within Jurassic World, where there was meant to be a man on a scooter.
Oh, yeah, but that was like 1 second.
Never noticed it.
It's fine.
There's just certain things where I'm a bit of a goldfish and I just take what's on the screen and don't really...
Now, that might also be because if you were writing stuff down, because I've done when we've done stuff like this before. I missed what that was said, and that was kind of crucial.
And I think it's the back and to and from different characters and story developments.
Yeah.
Like, there's still certain people that, like you said about the Russian guy, the American man that kept on going back and forth on the plane. It's like, those characters, it's like, they didn't really glue in for me, like, what they actually added. Whereas I think a second watch, I could kind of fathom and think, oh, okay, this is that, and that's why that's happening, and understand the story. Whereas the main story for me was Mickey. I don't know if I'm being completely...
He's the main focus, but obviously he's the main star power, in a sense. Because he's not British, but he's obviously based in this Irish...
He does a really good job.
Yeah. He does. Even though, like you say, you can't understand a single word he says, but
I think
that's kind of adds to the comedy value because it's like,
yeah,
he could be saying literally anything, he's swindling them from wherever. Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, and I think that works really well. And he looks rough, but still,
like bamboozling the crooks, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I would say, is there anything else to declare?
To declare?
Yeah. Don't go to England.
Don't go to England. There's no wrong with England.
Do come to England. Yeah, it's not so bad.
Bring
it
all different.
It does rain sometimes, or a lot of the time.
Just bring all different clothes because you're going to need all of them. If you come to a holiday in the UK, can't just bring shorts and a t-shirt. You need a coat, scarf, umbrella, wellies.
Well, my wellies.
Maybe a t-shirt, then a cardigan.
Walking shoes, yeah.
Walking shoes.
Yeah.
Waterproofs.
To walk. And we do have our humour, which kind of does normally go well with overseas. So
We've got a good
I think
wit.
a lot of people do appreciate the film for that as well. With the British humour, we like.
I do think our humour is so much better. It does make me laugh. Lots more.
No, it's more relatable to us,
and it's not even ridiculous.
No,
it's subtle, funny,
yeah,
and works.
Yeah, and this film does really work. But it is over to you. So I've got a score in my head this time.
Have you? Well, can it be over to you?
No, sorry. Oh, it works. This.
I'm playing. I think I'm going to disappoint you on this one.
I'm not expecting astronomically high score. Not going to surprise me like with other ones.
It's not going to be 10. That's for sure. I enjoyed it. I'd rewatch it again. So I didn't hate it.
Okay.
Had added humour. I think for me, at the moment, it's going to sit at a 6. And I know that sounds low.
Okay, yeah.
And that is because I think once I'd watched it again, it could go to a 7. But I don't want to give it a higher score just because I don't think I got the value out of it on the first watch.
Okay, that's fair.
And I was a bit lost.
Yeah. No. I understand because of, like, say, if I've watched something for the first time and I'm like, didn't really see the value in that, or it was just a bad experience, perhaps it kind of sours it. But, like, I probably said before, but like Quiden, like how that one was like, again, at such a low score, that was a 6, and then it was like, I would give it justice with that because I feel there's a lot more cultural aspects to this. I'm not quite getting on this first grasp, or it was just like this a bit too long, or yeah. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's probably, like I say, it's, you wouldn't normally go for these kind of films anyway.
No, and it's like I said initially, Sexy Beast /
a little bit rocky.
Yeah, and I didn't like either of those. I think Sexy Beast is actually winning out of all 3, which says something because he's disgusting.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So you put it at a 6. Could go to 7 if given another chance for you.
Yeah, but not next week.
No.
It's all right then.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna put it 0.5 above what I gave Sexy Beast. So that was an 8.
So we're going 8.5.
0.5, yeah.
And why is that, please?
That is, like I say, it's a lot more for the humour that's involved in this. Works a lot better. I know, obviously, don't think Sexy Beast is really going for that. It's trying to be a bit more serious in the tone of whatever. But obviously it was still funny with Ben Kingsley's character. Yeah. Coming over and just being like, the way he was swearing in that. And just how he talked was just funny, but probably not unintentionally funny. Whereas this is, again, like, like, oh, you're playing that kind of thing, and just being like, oh, you could park a jumbo jet in that spot, or whatever, like, all those kind of quips. And soundtrack as well, just really good as well, so that helps. And just its overall tone, that what it has going for it is solid. Glad I got it when I saw it, and so that's a good price.
Snatched it up, didn't you?
Snatched it up, yay, there we go.
Surprised you didn't say that.
No, I'm surprised as well. Well, that being said, thank you very much for listening to this episode. And if you would like to check out some of our other episodes, you can do so over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you might get your podcasts from.
So I want to also, just before I say my little bit, just because, why not be a little bit different? We went to a house party at the last weekend, and we actually heard that we've got quite a few listeners. So I feel like we should at least thank them people that actually listen to our podcast as well. So definitely go check out our other podcasts, like Paul said. But just a bit of appreciation to everyone who does listen to us. It means a lot to us when you do listen to us. We ramble on, and it's nice to know that we can brighten somebody's day up or make them laugh, or they can think I'm quite hilarious with the fact that Paul talks quite respectable about film and then I just slag it off.
Sometimes you do, yeah. Sometimes you don't, but...
So,
yeah.
Just thank you for everyone who does listen to us. I know one of your close friends, brother, he puts us on on a Thursday to listen to his office, so poor people in his office have to listen to our voices, which was mind-blowing to even think people listen to us sometimes.
How long have we been doing this?
I know, but it's just daft. It's just like, I feel like I'm just talking to you and then I forget that other people listen to me then.
Yeah, it does reach some people. So thank you to Kieran.
Yeah, thank you,
being
Kieran.
one of those people.
And if any of your people that are listening in the office want to follow us on social media, I mean, why wouldn't they if they aren't already? You can go and follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, under the handle SP_filmviewers.
Yep, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'd also like to leave us a nice review, a nice 5-star review, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and wherever else they do the scoring system. I think I've realised that Spotify actually does that on the app now.
Oh,
so you can actually rate people 5 stars on there. So if you want to do that, people, that'd be great.
Can I do it? Can I say Sophie is amazing and she makes this podcast fantastic?
I think it's the same, giving yourself a bit of...
Somebody has to. I always praise you for everything you do.
Well, we wouldn't have a show without you, so...
Thank you. I had to fish for it, but thank you.
So thank you once again, everybody, for listening in. And we will speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.